Nearly 29 million Americans will have an eating disorder in their lifetime. That's according to the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders.
And it also reported more than 10,000 deaths a year are caused by an eating disorder. Different 7's Danielle Kreuter shares the story of one woman hoping to encourage people to get help.
I don't have an eating disorder. I'm just getting my body in the way that I want it. People are allowed to do that, right?
Erin O'Connell says she, like so many others, was in denial until she finally listened to her friends encouraging her to get help.
I had collapsed at work a couple times, like fainted, passed out. It wasn't even until like that tail end of the 4 months in my first time in treatment where I was like, oh, I have the eating disorder.
She says part of the problem is the societal influence from when she was growing up.
I was a child in the 90s and the early 2000s. And at that time, a lot of people that the media would talk about having an eating disorder would be these thin model-like women. When I was 18 or so, I was coming to terms with being trans and what that meant for how I wanted to present myself. For me, it was like I definitely thought that, being skinnier made me more feminine.
At the Eating Recovery Center, she was able to talk about her struggles that were triggering the disorder.
There's so many different treatment options, whether it's outpatient, intensive outpatient, day treatment options. There's virtual programming.
Gina Cost is the regional VP of the Recovery Center.
We started in 2008 with one facility, and now we have upwards of 40. So that's indicative of the growth that we've seen in the demand for these types of services. Not only are we seeing more individuals with eating disorders, but we're seeing more severe forms of it.
That's why advocates say it is so important to raise awareness that eating disorders don't discriminate and there's always help.
Treatment definitely was very hard. It wasn't an easy process, but it was definitely a necessary one. I may have gone up and then gone down, but I was never back at the lowest point.
In Denver, I'm Danielle Kreuter, Denver 7.
Coming up at 6:30, we sit down with an eating disorder specialist who will explain warning signs for parents and the role social media is playing into cases he's seeing with young kids.